Okay, good morning, everyone, or afternoon as it may be. Very excited to bring you here the Jigoku Championship Winners Bracket Final. Let me just make sure everything is all set here while I wait for. We have one here. Thank you. You lurks. You win. You win the race. You're the first in. Let me get up the bracket here. We can talk a little about that. We got about 5 minutes to go before we start. So I'm just checking here to make sure everything is fine. Let's see. Everyone is ready. Okay. All right. Hi, Lurks. How are you this morning? I'm refreshing the chat here to see if we have any more going on. Okay. Now it's still just you, Lurks. Okay, so for you, very special description for you. I will I will go over the bracket that we've seen so far. Here we have, so you see, here we start up here with KCOOREY is right here. So KCOOREY got in on the virtue of winning the Silver Cup a couple of times, which is pretty interesting. And he, let's see. Sorry, I'm just messing with OBS here. Having some little bit of performance problem, but hopefully we'll be all right. I think we're all right. Okay, so he got in with the Silver Cup, winning on the Silver Cup, and that a couple of times earlier in the year, and then he won an LLO in September, I believe, the last LLO, I think. Maybe it was September or October, I can't recall. He won the last LLO to get his spot in here. So just snuck in, and he only got in on tie breaks, which is pretty amazing. So he got a W, very quick win right away against Algara, Matt Beck, and then has taken out 3 consecutive Scorpions after that: Amanis, Czar, and then Nakazuma. And so that's been quite a run. You can see his deck here is Kyuden Bayushi. He named it Crane Bane, but in fact it has been Scorpion Bane. And I think, he's basically just out, getting way more cards than his opponents. He can, hold favor reasonably well. He's got, the tricks with Regal Bearing, and then make an opening. I think Regal Bearing, I would guess, either goes off or it sort of forces cancels, and then those cancels aren't there for all the other juicy stuff he's got, like 2 swims. A duty obviously is a nice advantage against other Scorpions. So anyway, so we've seen lots of that, lots of those tricks from him. And then he is going up against MoZi. And MoZi is let's see. MoZi is on a very interesting crab build where he's splashing Lion, and the big thing here, Renowned Singer, obviously great. That's kind of like, I don't even want to say a poor man's Ancient Master, and he gets good favor there, and Logistics does amazing work along with Borderlands Fortification, gets guys onto the Shinsei's Last Hope, and anyway, does great work. So this will be, it's kind of the basic stuff that Crab does here with the Emperor and Casada, but then sort of typical tower stuff on them, but then really controls the board pretty amazingly with and generates economy with logistics and Borderlands fortification and Shinsei's Last Hope. So that's what we'll see. And MoZi has had, in terms of his run, I'll just mention. So he's coming through here. He beat another crab, a scorpion, a crane, and now has another scorpion. So he's had a little bit of a more varied run. 2 crabs there, and then a scorpion and a crane. So anyway, we'll dig right into it, and they can go. I'll let them know that they can go ahead. Hold on one moment. I'm gonna just get joined up here. Corey, I see you in the stream, buddy. You can't be in here. You can start as soon as you get out of the stream. I don't know why you're here, but we can't start the game until you're out of the stream, dude. Okay, no, he's still. Sorry, folks. Corey, I guess, clicked on my Twitch stream at some point and must not be paying attention. So that's good, but I can't let them start until he gets out of there, just to make sure everything is above board. So I don't know what is going on here. Okay, he's saying he closed the window. All right, I'm just gonna have to boot him. Sorry, everyone. I don't know what is going on here. Sorry, guys. I'm just talking to Corey. He said he left, but it wasn't showing up. Okay, he's gone. You guys can start. Sorry about all that. All right, off to the races. Sorry about that. I am confident that Corey meant nothing by it, but he just probably was checking on my chatting ahead of time and then couldn't get out of it. So anyway, we're all good now, so they can start as soon as they want. Okay, here we go. Let's get this maximized and see what we got. So I have not seen Corey, so I don't know exactly what his starts, what he is looking for. If anyone wants to speculate, you're welcome to. I do think that Crab, of course, we can expect is going to be looking for the usual Crab stuff. Kaio Envoys and Shurudisukis. And then he is not on keepers. Iron Mine is his restricted list. Okay, so big dogs right away. That's kind of unfortunate for MoZi to see two hentais right away, but a Kasada off Shinsei's Last Hope is bananagrams. So I would say that is not, oh boy, and Corey's flip is not what you want to see. So Corey he only mulliganed 2, so I would guess that he probably kept the 1 dispatch and maybe the Geisha House. I would guess were probably his keeps. I mean, it's possible he kept a Season of War, but hard to say. I think that was probably a bit greedy in either case. I mean, dispatch at the front is always like kind of nice to like force people to think twice about just opening straight with like an envoy or gallant quartermaster, but I think you've got to make sure you get characters. So I don't think that is Stoken Emperor. I mean, I guess that's a thing. No, you can't do it because they can't go in the conflict, right? So you have to select characters that can go into the conflict. So that doesn't work, unfortunately. So we better hope that Corey got some kind of conflict characters, but I feel that he maybe should have used one of those dispatches. I mean, it's there, and at least with the gallant quartermaster, you're basically getting a character off the board, saving a really good good target for common cause and that sort of thing. So I think he should have dispatched one of those. The quartermaster at the very least, because I mean, what are you gonna do? Are you really you're not gonna sit these here for the next you're not gonna sit them for the next till the next turn, so, and you don't have a bunch of stuff to spend your other money on, so I just don't. Okay, so we got a renowned singer, pre-played it to save it from got the Regal Bearing, which is for sure what he wants to do in this next conflict. Anyway, so I don't see why you don't use at least one of the dispatches to Nowheres. I mean, I could even see an argument for the Caillou Envoy as well. Obviously, economically, that's not great, but just to keep those bodies off the board, and that basically forces this into, okay, Casada breaks 1 province, but not a big deal, and then you end up at 5. Yeah, sure. Yeah, dispatching the envoy is crappy. I agree completely with that. I think the gallant quartermaster, at least, I feel should have been dispatched. I mean, I guess he prioritized the passing fate over that, clearly, but you could have not used the Imperial Storehouse potentially just to see what MoZi does, right? So MoZi buys Casada, and then well, I guess he had to use something to get the chance to dispatch. Okay, so he uses Imperial Storehouse. Now do we see the common cause here? Yeah. You guys are right. Yeah, the cadence didn't work out great. Okay, so cancels the common cause, so that's good. That's something. Do we have a second common cause? The Void Ring was nice. So I think then he will obviously save that second dispatch. So the way this has played out has been okay from Corey. Yep, there's a second common cause, unfortunately. So Corey's going to have some response here to save the other dispatch, which I think is pretty high priority. Yeah, Christian, you're right. You're right. You are right, sir. Oh, a second forgery to cancel the common cause. Spicy. So I think that's given where this has gone. Oh boy. And the renowned singer. Poor Corey. You know, he gave it his all. Unfortunately, those common causes still gave money to MoZi. Oh, interesting. Why is why? Yeah. See, I think he's got to go. Okay, that's good. So he can probably save that dispatch to nowhere, because I don't. There's nothing. There's no way he's going to get through that the effective deception. Fortunately for, Corey, there are two ceaseless duties, so that could save Casada here certainly on the next turn, if he has them. If he had gone to a different province, that would tell me that he for sure has ceaseless duty. In this case, I think, well, we'll find out soon enough, I guess. I don't think there's anything here that MoZi's not going to play into this effective deception. I can't imagine. Yeah. You know, he went air to try to get back. You know, pretty amazingly, could have just forced getting back a common cause if he had been able to even land the air. But fortunately, Corey had. Called to war, brutal. One, I think he's just on one call to war. Yes, one call to war for MoZi, and he has it. So, man, this is just been brutal for Corey. And we're gonna get a dishonored emperor here, coming in next. And you know, really, it didn't even come out that much better for Corey in terms of the economics, because he had to use so many cards to keep it from being a blowout. So Emperor Logistics, you see here the madness with this deck of MoZi's, which is just brilliant. I think getting the Emperor onto Shinsei's Last Hope. He's got a dupe for it. Just unfortunately, this opening here is just brutal for Corey. Great for MoZi, go America. Yeah, Osana Wo. That would have certainly been an out there to stop it, even if he didn't have. So he had 3 cards that could stop it. He's seen 11. Decent chance he would have at least one of those, I guess. Okay, Corey does get passing fate again, so getting some advantage in that respect, but holy smokes, the economics here are running all in Crab's direction. And then saving up some money here, or some honor here. MoZi bids 3. So certainly he's at a bit. There's the renowned singer play, which is pretty nasty. Here he right crane splash, man, with those. The noble sacks would be pretty sweet here. So the interesting play here is with the MoZi bidding 2 to turn on the renowned singer. To get a common cause back, obviously high value. Yes, renowned singer is amazing. Uh, yes, yes. Uh, so you got to read Kudenhita there, Christian, to see what it does. It's a spicy new card you may not have seen before. Anywho, so that did turn on Alibi Artist, I guess. Obviously, there are other ways that he can turn Alibi Artist on later in the turn, but obviously, like value play for MoZi regardless. So I'm not saying he shouldn't do that, but conveniently, it did give Corey another card. He's got the two Geisha houses, which the Sana Wo. Yes, we did paint that. Thank you for noticing. We just moved into this house last fall, and it was a fucking dump. There were old people who lived here and for like 60 years, and they're the last however many years they were just kind of out of it and didn't keep anything up. So it was a very busy 6 months or so for getting into just dealing with painting and floors and all kinds of stuff. That is a great question. I rolled and then cut the bathroom, which is over there. I did that first and learned my lesson. So then for these, I cut and then rolled. So learned that lesson on the first room I did, which was the bathroom. Back to L5R, we've had some stuff going on. MoZi uses fire and oil. Another reason to drop that bid. Gives him a nice extra cushion for all those dishonor tokens and fire and oil. We're still at 1-1 though, so MoZi's going to have to do something to not lose this ring. Corey is satisfied with presumably with obviously just winning the ring here. I don't know. Looking at MoZi's board, there's not anything else he could have defended with to get to 2, really. I mean, obviously Casada, but that's a low value defense. He's got the Envoy there to stop a court games. But in the end, the court games doesn't matter too much, actually. I mean, obviously it's, Potato's renowned singer, but anyway, I don't know what MoZi is thinking of doing here. Playing, I mean, I guess he could court games to boost the renowned singer. That would be fine. Oh, assassination. Interesting. Getting aggressive here for MoZi. He wants to be done fast. So one thing to note is for those who are just tuning in here, haven't been keeping up with this event, this is double elimination. So the loser of this one is not out. Okay. All right, here we go. Sadako. So Sadako is all well and good. I think, again, she's still going to lose to court games. Okay. Does bring out the Emperor Bow. It's free bow, always nice. Let's see if Corey wants to play any more into this. Okay, Geisha House. Tried to switch the ring, but the cost is still paid, so now she's dishonored, so she can straighten. We'll see if he tries to win the ring here. I feel like it's fine to just let this pass. I'm not sure. So she'll be... Well, she would potentially break, but if she straightens here, she would certainly break. But a court games back to honor the renowned singer would put MoZi at 3 and then Corey at 5, so would not be breaking. So he would need like a Tessin, I guess, would keep him breaking even with the court games. So I would favor that. If he is thinking about trying to break this, he should Tessen. No, never mind. That still only gets him to 5. That doesn't work either. Sorry, folks. I was wrong. Sorry, Christian. What can MoZi redirect? Oh, okay. So there was no court games. So KCOOREY sneaks out there, gets the break on Shinsei's last hope, which, if he has a hope in this game, depends on certainly on slowing that momentum and breaking Shinsei's last hope. So that is a fortunate that MoZi had not seen a court games yet. I think we would certainly have seen the court games if MoZi had it. You're talking about Kyuden Bayushi? Yeah, it's yeah, exactly. So it's fortunately safe on that. So let's see. MoZi went in, poke on air, gets a quick defense, nothing else happens. Who was that? Who went? Oh, the 0-0 Gallant Quartermaster went and just kind of booped there to get the fate from the air ring and take it off the table, obviously. So what are we going to see here for ring? I would probably just get fate because he can't possibly win this ring. So if MoZi doesn't want to, so Void does nothing. He's just passing. Interesting. So what is that Renowned Singer possibly going to do? I mean, I guess it just stays back to absorb an honor or stop the honor loss from unopposed. I guess is what is going to go on here. So yeah, could be. That's true. For Shame does work here. Still would get the ring, although it's water, so the ring doesn't matter in the slightest. So Midnight Rebels, spicy. Bows that Emperor. Oh, now MoZi is in a spot here. So he is going to have to use a common cause to straighten. Okay, so he's going to get this ring. Oh, no, never mind. The water ring will straighten the Renowned Singer, putting him at 3 rings to KCOOREY's 2. However, a straighten on Sadako will splash that Emperor. Oh yeah, he can straighten Emperor if he wins. Okay, so you're right. I don't know why that's obvious, of course. I just usually don't think of that sort of thing. Okay, so common cause is straightening Kasada. He wants that break. Trying to keep the momentum up there. Oh, just straightens the safe play, I guess, is just straightening the Emperor here. I guess he's worried about another 4 shame, but it would take a 4 shame and like a bonsai, I guess, for KCOOREY to win the ring. So he has the other 4 shame, but I don't think. Yeah, so Tessen straightens. Obviously straightening the Emperor there is very safe, but you could have used it after, and he didn't need the money. He had 2 fate left for the Tessen, so. Yeah, I mean, it looks like he has a Defend Your Honor because the pause here. Yeah, there it is. No, I mean the common cause is safely stands the Emperor regardless, so that's fine. I do feel that there was It's not clear to me why he needed to do that in the conflict. A fine katana for the break. Defend Your Honor stopped the bonsai. Yeah. See, these players. There's a reason these players are here in the end of this the end of this tournament, and I'm not. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Big brains, big brains. I hear MoZi's good. I think he had the most points this year in the race. I don't know. It was either him or Dem. I can't remember which. But so he's had a lot of success this year. I guess I should mention for those who joined a little late, quick recap. Dema had the most over the 2 years. He was tied with MD over the 2 years. He may have been like one ahead of MoZi for this year. Quick recap, as I said, MoZi was first or second. Now we get to see if a dispatch gets through on Casada. I mean, oh, never mind. Casada dupe was there. Oh God, so lucky. So maybe he'll splash that Pious Guardian, I guess. Might as well. But man, Corey is just not seeing the characters he wants here. Yeah. Get rid of that Pious Guardian. That's nice. Will he use another one on the Renowned Singer? I don't know. Probably. I don't see why not. Why wouldn't ya? Renowned Singer does good work. Anyway, so MoZi had a great deal of success in some gold cups, and actually I might as well bring it up here. I have all the deets, so I can bring up and we'll have a peek, and if there is some if there's any downtime here between what people are thinking or whatnot. Okay, so we did see the Dispatch to Nowhere toast that Renowned Singer. I don't know. I feel that I will go back on what I said a few moments ago, that perhaps it would be better to save that. Effective Deception is pretty nice to, pretty good to be able to defend. The other province is what? What's his other province? Who wants to tell me? Secret Cache. So the other one's Secret Cache. Either one's pretty good for. Okay, so MoZi goes 1, Corey goes 3, and so now Corey has quite a hand advantage, 4 cards, but obviously the board is quite decisively in MoZi's favor. Anyway, so keeping that Dispatch to Nowhere at least would have threatened using it again next turn on Casada, if he doesn't get another dupe, of course. We've just seen the 2. I don't know, but Renowned Singer is pretty amazing, so, and would have gotten another card right now if Renowned Singer was on the board, so that's probably a bad idea. Okay, let's see. So an Apprentice Engineer gets a Kaio Forge gets an Iron Mine, so there goes the Dispatch to Nowhere idea. Oh no, he discarded Iron Mine. Curious. MoZi making oh, I see, it was face down. Iron Mine gets an Iron Mine. Got it. But you know what? A face up Iron Mine is better than a face down Iron Mine. So anyway, let's see. So we're doing crab stuff here with holdings, and Corey passing a bunch. Now, the way this game has gone, with MoZi dropping his bids like this, is turning off turning off the whole draw engine that Corey's deck is kind of built around. Yeah, the pun is great. That Regal Bearing, we saw 1 discarded to Earthring on the first conflict, which would have been very tasty if he had been able to get one of those off then in the next conflict, which was with an elegant, a Renowned Singer. And now it's turned off. So he's got those 2 dead cards, unfortunately. All right, so MoZi going Void Ring. makes sense. That is, I think, pretty clearly the best ring here on this board. And into Secret Cache with 9 Quesada's on, so not a ton that Corey can likely do to this, but we shall see. Swim is on for what it's worth. It would take, and in notably, it cannot be redirected by the Emperor right now. And it has to be control an opponent's character, so he could still defend with Sadako and swim Quesada. Of course, so MoZi is through 24 cards, because he got one or two with a renowned singer, 23 or 24. I'm sorry, he's through 16 or 17 cards. So you got to assume he's got at least one censure and perhaps a couple. And so the swim is a little, will take a little to get to. No attempt at a swim or anything like that. So MoZi on box now here on the second attack, if he so chooses. We did not see any attempt at a swim, which, obviously would have been a bit spicy anyway. Interesting. Okay, here we go. Go on Earth to get money. Okay, as I mentioned, we can look at, well, Corey is thinking here, we can look at the race to Jigoku from the year. So here near the top here we have Jared. Jared was indeed number 1 for this year. Dema was actually quite down the list. Here's you, Dario, number 3. So Jared had a lot of success last year, of course, and then this year came second at the LVO and in Las Vegas Open, and then he won the first March Madness, which was quite a large tournament. I think we had 90 or something there for that event. That was pretty cool. Top 4 there for an LLO, and then he won another LLO. So that is his road to this event. All right, so let's see. Sadako coming in, sadly gets blanked by the student. Student is pretty good, and so we're not probably going to see much more here, I can't imagine. Perhaps, yep, he get a pass there. Right you are, Christian. Right you are. I don't think there is much in the way of pathways here for our good friend Corey here. So his his winning streak will likely end here, but I always looking for where his pathways are, and swim was not one of them because of that iron mine, which is presumably why MoZi got it all set up there before the first conflict with the apprentice engineer. All right, so student is coming in for probably, we're looking at honors reward here on the box. Emperor has not been used, so we'll at least have the opportunity there for a bow. Quite aggressive of Corey not to, well, I was going to say not to straighten Sadako, but she's blank anyway, so she probably wasn't going to help this conflict. 6-3 on air. What happened? He tried to straighten Sadako, but Quesada canceled it. Okay, so that was just a Quesada soak there. Watch Commander comes down to make things even more difficult for Corey. So he'll probably get an elegant Tessonite. Yeah. Yep. So that was a net -1 for Corey, unfortunately. So Apprentice Engineer comes in. Curious. One of his 2 favorable grounds. Going for the kill here, I guess. I guess the Apprentice Engineer was stopping a court games. Corey getting very low in honor here. Okay, so the For Shame at least gets us, saves Corey for the moment. He will still lose the game at the end of the turn, of course, from Asami leaving play, unless he has duty. Oh, and then she bows, and that will end the game again, unless there's a straighten. So yeah, there must be the duty. There we go. Oh, and the censure cancels it. And I presume there is a forgery in response. Oh, nope, just good game. All right, y'all. That will be it. Thank you for watching. We have next. So next will be. Let's go and take a peek. Actually, as long as you're all here, at the other game. So there will be now 2 streams going watching this one. Okay. Crane's doing crane things. Both big boards, neither on the box. Hataru's on the board for both of them. Yeah, Dario, I don't know. I mean, Crab's just always good. They're so efficient. They, for whatever reason, at least to me, don't feel as oppressive as Scorpion, but and as unfair as Crane. Yeah, he certainly could use one. But he did get favor. So we are going into turn 4 here with provinces both on Stronghold. Eric will be first with a 10-5 challenger coming down. What do we got? Usagi gets a veteran. Eric gets a veteran. Let's see. That Kagayu might do some work here, I suppose. Kaizen, does Usagi get that veteran, or does he save his money? Yes, and yes, indeed, Christian. One of them is not like the other. Looking a bit grim for our Spanish friend. And now, for those who aren't in the know, this game Usagi and Pintor played this morning. Pintor actually did win that game, but he had some other obligations come up, and so he had to concede to Usagi. So that's why we get this crane loveliness. So either way, we had a Spaniard in the top 4. This is the losers bracket here, so that means the loser is done. And then, okay, so we had a voice cancel a Wealth of the Crane, and then another Wealth of the Crane, and the voice cancel the other Wealth of the Crane. So notice here, Eric played the first Wealth in the draw phase, because Wealth of the Crane is once per phase. So that allowed him to do it again in the conflict phase. And let's see. So Wealths didn't get Eric all his tasty toys as he had hoped. I think his board is still quite favorable. Question here is who can honor their veteran of Toshi Ranbo? I think certainly Usagi must feel that he has a way to honor him. I don't see him going down to one fate for a 3-1 body. The only reason you do that, I would think, would be to have a much larger, 8-6 body is a lot better. So he must have some way to honor this guy. The other little game this turn will be to see if Eric can get voice on. Obviously, that is honoring quite a few characters. He's only on 2 wealths, so Station is... I don't think either of them put Station on the row. Yeah. No stations. So there's another interesting game here is whoever goes to the box turns on Station. Now I know Eric tends to put Station on the box. I don't know what Usagi's typical is. Very interestingly now, Eric just going for it to turn on Station. I mean, Shameful's obviously unfortunate here because of that voice war. So going at Shameful would decisively swing, keep Eric off of voice. But okay, so he is going for it, and I think I see. Usagi generally alternates, but on the Crane mirror, it's usually on Stronghold. Interesting. Okay, so Eric going for it here to make Magistrate Station mostly irrelevant. The question is how much... Wow, Usagi defending with just 2. I don't... interesting. That is ballsy, I would say. Okay, so there's the Way of the Crane to honor the veteran. Eric thinking about to defend your honor, I guess. But that turns on veteran. No, that would be foolish, wouldn't it? Because that turns on veteran either way with the Kyuden Kakita. So Kyuden Kakita is very strong. I feel it might have been more properly adjusted if it was after you win a duel. I don't object too much to Kyuden Kakita, but it does create some very unfortunate interactions where initiating losing duels is still a huge advantage, and that just feels not right to me. Right you are. So it evens up everyone. Of course, that is extremely true. Yeah, I think that sounds right. So what? City and put it 4th. Okay, let me see if I can think of what your 4 are here. Well, City's obviously number 1. Kyuden Isawa would have been number 1 back in its day. So we're missing a bunch of action here. Sorry. Duelist Training Bows. Obviously, we'll get a straight in there. Kyuden Nakoma number 2. Very interesting, Dario. I think that seems to me a controversial opinion. I'm not disagreeing flat out with you there, but I don't know. For the rest of the chat, thumbs up or thumbs down to Kyuden Nakoma number 2. Let's hear it. Let's get a vote. What do the people say? Okay, another lion backs up Dario. I like the lion players because they don't spend all their time saying their shit sucks. Like some yeah, I feel you, Christian. I agree. Like HMT is extreme, like Unicorn's entire like existence depends on HMT, which is quite a strong stronghold. It's just like everything else kind of like is weak and hasn't gotten anything for a long time. Yeah, that's true, Chris. However, yeah, it certainly does. No question about it. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to put a unbow, a free every turn reusable unbow below that, but it's also quite hard to it's also quite hard to measure it when a lot of times it doesn't get triggered because the threat of it triggering is the relevant thing. So yeah, it's hard to measure. Uh, Christian, do you agree that Kyuden Nakoma is number two? All right, folks. Somehow we got Hotaru into this conflict. Oh, she got pulled in by the challenger, I see. After moving the conflict to shameful display. Pretty strong. Yeah, it's quite ruinous those times when you forget about it as the defender. It's pretty horrible. All right, so Steed of the Steppes comes down on the challenger to, um, I guess just get a hmm. I don't. Yeah. Okay, so above question comes down. No, there was an above question anyway, sometime before that we missed. And Eric uses it to bounce that back. Winning fire right now is Eric, and breaking that shameful. Yeah, that 13 is spicy. It sure is. Okay, so Hitaru gets dishonored, saves the box, but now did Magistrate Station get used? I can't remember. Anyone notice the Magistrate Station have to be used? I think nope, it didn't. So he managed to fend it off without using Magistrate Station, and now the veteran gets straightened as well. Yeah. Uh, and then with the straighten from the Gaijin Customs, we get a GG from Usagi. So that is a was a valiant defense, but was not enough, and the Gaijin Customs from Challenger. I mean, that's that. There we see the power of that Wealth of the Crane, that it forced out two voice of honors from Usagi, which certainly would have been very interesting. And I just Wealth is just too, with all those spicy holdings, Tea House and Kakita Dojo. Obviously, he had to, Usagi had to cancel it. Like I think he just loses with some Kakita Dojos, because Eric hasn't seen a Kakita Dojo yet, so they're going to be in there. So he just loses with it. But so he had to voice it, but then it really just sort of sucks them up, and then that can't have it for the Gaijin Customs, which is not actually interesting. Having to use a voice for that purpose is not, like, it's so boring. I just bleh. So anyway, thanks to everyone. Yes, Eric and Corey will be quite interesting. Corey's deck is specifically anti-crane. That was what he built it for, and he has yet to see a crane. So the will be a more difficult matchup for Corey. Well, I don't know. He built it to specifically counter these crane towers. So that is, I don't know. I haven't talked about it, but the title of the deck is literally crane. What did he call it? He calls it Bid War Crane Bane. There is his deck. So this is Corey's deck. So I don't know exactly what all the internal logic is to do that. I think the he's trying to sort of manipulate the bid, the honor dial with Regal Bearing, gets I Can Swim on, and has the cancels, and I think he sort of plays fast and loose to get down as close to the bottom, close to 0 on honor, and then has duty to stop that from losing the game for him. So very strange deck. Has been quite good against Scorpion. He didn't have much of a shot against MoZi. That was a sort of a blowout, but we will see. He's got Make an Opening, which is quite interesting. Haven't seen too much of that played. So we'll see more of that here shortly. We will have the two of them, Eric. Well, yeah, obviously duty stops you from losing. That is indeed its purpose. But anyway, so we'll see this one here coming up, and then shortly, and then the winner will face MoZi. So MoZi has a break here for a little bit. So we'll see Eric and Corey here shortly, and then we'll probably take 5 minutes to figure out streaming, and then we'll get back up and running, either myself or Yoga Dunzo's channel. I don't know which we'll do, but one or the other will be up and running here in a moment, and then we'll keep this on. So just for everyone knows, those two will play. Winner plays MoZi. If MoZi wins that game, tournament's over. If Eric or Corey beats MoZi, then they will play again to decide the championship. So that's how it works with Double Elim, and I will see you all in just a little bit. Thanks.